Before Iowa lawmakers return to the State House next month, we're asking them what they plan to work on. Tonight, we talk with Ankeny state representatives, Republican Ryan Weldon, who represents the north side of town, House District 41, and Democrat Heather Mastin, who represents House District 42, the southern part of Ankeny. Chief Political Reporter Amanda Rooker talked with them about their top priorities for the upcoming legislative session. Amanda.
Well, Ben, both of these lawmakers won their seats by razor-thin margins, defeating their opponents by less than 150 votes. Democrat Heather Mastin was reelected, and Republican Ryan Weldon flipped that seat. It was previously held by a Democrat. I talked with both lawmakers and people in town about what changes they want to see for their community.
While campaigning across Ankeny, both state lawmakers heard similar messages from voters.
And then, of course, property taxes always comes up.
The main thing that people talked about the most was property taxes.
Republican Ryan Weldon and Democrat Heather Mastin say there's more to do to lower costs for Iowans. People we spoke with in Ankeny also want their lawmakers to lower their property taxes.
Quit raising them. Property taxes are high enough.
I keep hearing about the property taxes. You know, I mean, it'd be great to get rid of property taxes too.
Patrick Clay lives in Ankeny. He also wants lawmakers to protect some access to abortion.
I'm a Christian, but I don't believe that I should be in charge of what a woman's decision is. So, and I've got $3 of my own. But I do believe there should be some point of a stopping point.
Iowa's current law bans abortion after fetal cardiac activity is detected. Doctors say that's usually around 6 weeks of pregnancy. When the law passed in 2023, Weldon was not in office, but Mastin was. She voted against the ban, testifying about her own experience with a high-risk pregnancy.
At my most vulnerable moment, I can't even imagine what it would have been like if my doctors had to make decisions for my care based on politics instead of medical science.
Mastin says this year she'll work on expanding access to maternal health care, and she's also focused on improving Iowa's nursing homes.
Ensure that we have appropriate staffing levels and also having the inspections that really need to go into keeping people safe will always be a priority of mine.
For Weldon,
being on the school board and having 4 kids, it's no secret that education's an important topic for me.
The former Ankeny school board president wants to improve school safety and limit cell phone use in class.
That's a really healthy movement so that we can really, in the classroom, focus on reading, writing, math, all those foundational topics that we know set our students up for success after school.
Weldon and Mastin both won their seats by less than 150 votes. Nearly half the voters in their districts voted for someone else. Both lawmakers say they'll work to find common ground and meet their constituents' needs, regardless of politics.
I'm always trying to build bridges with folks and really hear where other people are coming from.
Really, it's how can we come together and get everybody at the table to bring the solutions forward that make sense.
And we also spoke with lawmakers and people in Newton, Des Moines, Marshalltown, and Dallas Center. Interesting that people in all those communities said they wanted property tax reform, so we'll watch for that this session. You can also watch all of those stories on our website and on our mobile app. Ben.